Yep.
Kind of like,
Yeah, that's totally fine.
okay.
Yeah. Whatever you feel comfortable with is more important than.
My name is Jimmy Schomburg. I am from Decatur, Alabama. I first found out about the Culture Project a couple of years ago from my mom, of all people. She sent me one of their social media posts and said, you know, this looks really cool. This looks like something you could do when you graduate. And when I looked into it, I was kind of like, I don't know. This looks really hard. I don't know if I could do that. So I kind of wrote it off for a little while. But then a few years later, in my senior year of college, I went to Seek and saw that the Culture Project had a table there. So I went up to it and started kind of looking around, and lo and behold, I run into one of the missionaries. And we start talking about the Culture Project and what they do, and we exchanged information, and she sent me a text later that afternoon asking if I wanted to get together for lunch the next day, and I said, yeah, love to do that. And so we got lunch, ended up having a really awesome conversation, talking about our testimonies, how we got to where we were, and she also talked a lot about the Culture Project. And this is kind of where I really first got an in-depth look at what the Culture Project was. And I was really impressed about it, and really impressed on who they were and what they did. And so I kind of said, when I come back home, I'll apply. What the heck? And so I did. I applied, ended up going through the process, ended up going through getting the interviews and everything. What really sealed it for me, though, was probably the discernment weekend. I got a call to go to the discernment weekend in Philadelphia. And I had a really great time that weekend. I was really impressed with just how the missionaries were, what they did, what they were kind of talking about, their day-to-day lives. And so I said, I think if they tell me I'm accepted, I'll accept. So a few days later, they give me the call and say, yeah, we'd love to have you on board. And I think without hesitation, I said yes. So that's how I got on board. That's how I made it here. I think the reason why primarily I wanted to do this mission is because I've really seen, especially in my time in college, just how broken people are by this culture. And it's primarily because they don't have anyone telling them, you have dignity, you're loved. And they've never really been exposed to the Catholic teaching on that, which I think out of all of the things that the world is trying to throw at us, the Catholic Church makes the most sense. So that's why I wanted to pursue this mission, is because I want to be able to tell kids, you have dignity, you're loved. And why I kind of chose this mission over other missions, I'd always been interested in missionary work, in kind of missionary life, but I never really felt the call to go to a foreign country and help the poor, things like that, how a lot of people think of missionaries. But I had a few other organizations in mind besides the Culture Project, like Focus and a Simple House. But there was just something in the back of my head saying, this isn't really for you. But I was really drawn by the Culture Project's unique mission, and I felt that a lot of what they did tailored to my strengths. And so I said, yeah, I think the Culture Project's the way to go.